So Randy Macho Man Savage looked at me and he says, "Ripper the Clown, you're in the danger zone, brother, because whenever I'm trying to talk about something, you start talking about something." And then he kind of just stared off and paused and kind of looked introspectively, and then he continued, "But you're an icon and a legend, yeah." And I replied, "Randy, you're not saying anything I don't already know, you know?" Okay, next question.
I've heard rumors for years, so what happened to you at the White House?
You know, I knew you were going to ask me that. I just knew you were. I was a White House intern from 1995 to 1996, and one afternoon I was shredding Whitewater documents for Hillary in a side office, and Bill Clinton came in, and from behind he thought I was a female clown. You know, he saw the long, beautiful hair, you know, and at which time Bill Clinton proceeded to grab me by my animal balloons. What happened? I went public, you know, about Bill's unwanted advances, and Christ, Hillary went after me, man. She tried to discredit me at every front. She called me a dirty, drunk street mime who'd follow anyone dragging a funnel cake through a trailer park. You know, people say Hillary's so smart and so brilliant. She didn't know the difference between a clown and a goddamn mime, man. Shameful, you know. And eventually the Clintons just ran me out of town, like your common rodeo clown. Media went after me too, vilifying me, maligning the good name of Ripper the Clown, all to protect the bad names of Bill and Hillary Clinton. It ruined me for a long time, man. A long time. Hey, you know what? Cut. I can't talk about this right now. Cut, please. You know, the same media that condemned Bill Cosby because of all the women coming forward with identical complaints and allegations is the exact same media that failed to do anything or even speak ill of Bill Clinton and his womanizing, and many of the same allegations were made against Clinton. You know, you want to talk about a war on women. As if being violated wasn't enough, all Bill Clinton's victims were maligned and destroyed by Hillary and the Clinton machine. And speaking of, have you ever heard that interview from the 80s where Hillary discusses defending that guy who raped a 12-year-old girl? Hillary was his attorney, and she got him off on this technicality, and she actually laughs in the interview when she talks about how the guy passed a polygraph test, and how after that point she's had no faith in polygraphs, and she laughs about it. She laughs about getting this guy off. And you know what happened to that poor girl? You know, I mean, she had no justice. So contemporaneously, Hillary claims to be a champion for women. Are you kidding me? I mean, what a bunch of horseshit. You know, I mean, hey. Hey, are you recording this after I told you not to? So check this out. This is kind of interesting. You'll enjoy this. Days after he groped me, Bill Clinton called me on the phone, and he acted like nothing happened. You know, he knew I was a wordsmith, so he's like, "Hey, Rip, man, how's it going? Hey, can you tell me what the meaning of is?" And I'm like, "Figure it out yourself, pervert." You know? He got mad and he pulled the president card on me. He said I was disrespecting the office of president. He was just clowning around with me in the office when he grabbed me, and I blew it all out of proportion. I called him Jester the Molester, and I hung up on his ass. Subtle intimidation, man. That's what it was. Subtle intimidation. I got audited numerous times. My life was threatened by strange voices calling me on the phone at midnight, 3 a.m. My invisible dog was murdered. My pet elephant vanished. You know, the Clintons would, Bill and Hillary, they'd come over to my house at 10 p.m. and they wouldn't leave until like 4 a.m. I mean, this is serious shit, man. I mean, intimidation. And you guys may not know this, but in Washington, Washington, D.C., you could take out a hit on a clown for nothing more than an elephant ear and a goddamn candy apple. I mean, clowns drop like that in Washington, D.C., man. They could have hired some mimes to kidnap me, and of course they'd be silent on their demands, and weeks later some kid would find my dead body in some invisible box. No sir, man, not me, not me. So I left Washington, D.C. I crammed 75 clowns in my clown car, and I got the hell out of D.C., and I never freaking went back. Did I want to be another Vince Foster? Nope. No, I didn't. And speaking of which, that whole affair was just sloppy, man. Amateurs, rank freaking amateurs. But here's some inside information for you. Even though I wasn't at the White House at the time, Web Hubbell told me that hours after Vince Foster allegedly went, Hillary searched his office, but she wasn't searching for incriminating documents. She wanted Foster's stash of McDonald's coupons. And Webb saw her in there because he went in there to get the coupons for himself, but Hillary beat him to it. And he told me he will never forgive or forget that she got the coupons before he made it in there. And little known fact about Web Hubbell, the government actually did a $2.5 million study and determined that Web Hubbell was actually some sort of a weird land fish. Yeah, no joke, man. No joke. And it was all on the taxpayer's dime to boot.
You know, it's been a lifetime of corruption for Hillary Clinton. You could go back. I mean, they were talking about that when I was at the White House. They were talking, you know, the scuttlebutt was how she got fired from the Watergate committee for stealing some documents about Nixon's innocence or something. I mean, she was fired for dishonest, unethical behavior by Democrats, no less. And now she's their candidate for president. It's crazy. You know, it's a lifetime of being a pathological liar. That's what she is. Yet people still rally around her like she's some sort of revered omnipotent being with all the screeching answers. And it's a sad commentary on this country where people still actually believe the words that come out of that liar's mouth. They actually go to her rallies, and on perfect cue they nod their heads when she speaks. And then they cheer for her, oh, like a bunch of drunken ninnies. I mean, really, where's the intellect in this country? It's down the shitter.
Let me tell you something. The media are just prostitutes for the Clinton and for King Obama in the Chicago way and his awesome 7+ years of on-the-job training. You know, all of them, Chris Matthews, Tom Brokaw, Brian Williams, Charles Blow, Ed Schultz, George Snuffleupagus, all just prostitutes, man. Under the guise of journalists. Political hacks, hacks behind a typewriter, hacks behind a monitor. That's it, man. Get a journalism degree now, they give you your own street corner in front of the White House.
So what I'm about to tell you is completely off the record. You did shut the camera off, right? Okay, thanks. You know, I want to be candid with you, but I just don't want some of this stuff getting out of the public domain, you know, so I appreciate it. I appreciate you working with me here. We were talking about the prostitutes in the American mainstream media, and, you know, what about, since we're on that subject, what about the two happiest hookers of all, Jake Tapper and Don Lemon? I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, those guys are nothing more than just prostitutes for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And, you know, I personally couldn't sleep at night or look myself in the mirror. I'm sure they do just fine because they think they're doing a good job for their president and their nominee. They're just freaking drones, man. You know, it disgusts me that my alter ego shares the same first name as Jake Tapper's. Yeah, it just pisses me off. And you want to talk about bastardizing your journalistic ethics? Let me tell you about hacks like Don Lemon and Jake Tapper. They're just pretentious, self-righteous, mentally defective, pissant piss midgets. And I'd say journalists like Tapper and Lemon have shit for brains, but quite frankly, doing so would be offensive and insulting to the feces population.
I wasn't there when the Clintons left. Like I said, I left circa 1995. But, you know, when they left the White House in 2000, they trashed the place. They trashed the joint, you know, like a bunch of frat boys. They destroyed things in the White House to the tune of 15 grand. Yeah, imagine what kind of degenerate party that was. I mean, in any other normal society and culture, these people would be a national shame, tarnished for life. But still, the Clintons are heralded as heroes even today. So, Bill Clinton's on this island, allegedly, and all this horrible stuff's going on. And Bill Clinton's alibi is that he's studying botany when all this is taking place. Are you shitting me? Big party going on, all this stuff. Bill Clinton's off to himself studying botany. You know, only the piss-poor, criminally neglectful mainstream media would accept and believe this crap story is truth.
You You know, Hillary talks about how rich people are evil. She's got a net worth of like $110 million or something like that. Irony, man. So check this out. During the DNC, they actually locked the doors of the convention center so people wouldn't leave during Hillary's speech. That's how afraid they were that people were going to leave in droves. And this is true. You can look it up. I mean, I was there, and I got locked in. I didn't like it. And so, did you see, it was on TV, did you see the woman crying when Hillary hit the stage? And all the news media was talking about how she was crying because she was so full of emotion to see the first woman get nominated for the presidency. I talked to her after. She wasn't crying because Hillary was on stage and she was touched emotionally. She was crying because she wanted to go home. She wanted to leave, but those bastards at the DNC locked her and everyone else inside. I mean, when I left, at the DNC, I had to break a window and climb out the bathroom window. By that point, the doors were already open, but I figured, what the hell, I'll just break the window and leave anyway. You know what I'm saying?
You know, you want the truth about Hillary Clinton? Okay, I'll give it to you. She's out. There it is. My payback. Oops. Sorry, Hillary. It's public now.
Well, screw a wood chipper. I guess after saying all this to you, I should state plainly and clearly for the record that Ripper the Clown is in exquisitely perfect health. Sorry you had to hear that. Okay. And so I'm in good health, you know. So something happens to me and I'm found dead. Just know that it wasn't an accident and it definitely wasn't suicide.